Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today is going to be a technique video. We're going to be talking about slide technique, more specifically slide coordination, and I'm going to give you one secret to really good slide technique, one really good tip for your slide coordination. But before we get started, if this is the first time we meet, my name is Raphael. On this channel we talk about brass playing, we talk about trombone technique, we also practice technique together through play-along videos, we post arrangements for small and large ensembles, we talk about equipment because it's just fun to geek on those sometimes, and so on. So if this is interesting to you, please consider subscribing to the channel and pressing this little bell so that you are notified every time I post new content. I also publish all my exercises and all my arrangements, and you can get everything in the link that I will link in the description to this video. But let's just get started on today's topic, this one secret. What is it? What is this one secret that really differentiates somebody that's more of an amateur trombone player to a professional level playing trombone player? And what is this different? Is mostly hearing somebody that can play clean with his trombone. It's very hard because of the slide to play very clean, good legato, nice phrases. You hear often in the less experienced player, you hear all those smears and all those little sounds that you want to avoid between the notes. So it's all down to good slide coordination. And what is this secret to good slide coordination? Rhythm. It is just rhythm, 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 rhythm. It is the rhythm that coordinates, that synchronizes your tongue and your arm. And your arm and your tongue needs to be synchronized to the music that you're playing, to the rhythm of the music that you are playing. So I'm going to try to demonstrate it a little bit and give you a few ways of practicing this coordination between your tongue and your arm. When do you have to tongue? And try to do a few exercises. And for those exercises you need two things. You need to have, actually maybe three things would be cool. First thing that's really important, you need a metronome. Any metronome. It can be this metronome, any metronome, or a metronome on your phone if it is put on flight mode so that it doesn't distract your practice. Also, you need a slide instrument. It might be a trombone, the bass trombone. It could just be a slide flute. I'm only kidding. I don't know. Maybe you're into that, but yeah. So yeah, metronome. And what would be cool if you have something to record yourself. I use a Zoom H2. I'm not going to use it right now, obviously, because I'm filming it and everything is recorded right now. But it's good if you can use a recorder, a good quality recorder. I have one of the latest iPhones, and it does have a good quality of sound to the recording. But if you really want to check things out more precisely, I would recommend something a little bit better, in like a Zoom H2 or H4, H5, H6 if you can afford it. It will really help you listen to yourself. So let's do one exercise. So to demonstrate, I am taking a bass trombone. You can choose the slide flute, you can choose a slide trumpet, you can use the tenor trombone, the alto trombone, whatever you want. I choose this because it's more of my taste. And I'm going to demonstrate an exercise with you. I'm going to put the metronome on. I'm going to put the metronome on, let's say 66. Yeah, that's good. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do what you're not supposed to do, just to emphasize, and I'm going to exaggerate a lot. And I really encourage you to do this exercise. So we're going to do a scale going down. Why not? Scale. I know most of my exercises are scale based, but scales are so cool because you can do so much things with them. So let's do a B flat scale going down, and we're going to move the slide before the rhythm. So we're going to coordinate first just the tongue to the metronome, but the slide is just going to move before. So it's going to do something like this. Let me do it again. Right, so this is exactly what you don't want. Very exaggerated, just so that we see. So when is it that you tongue and when is it that you move your slide? Well, I said before, it has to be exactly at the same time. So first you really need to you need to practice your rhythm. You need to practice your inner rhythm. Doing it with a metronome is good also. Let's do a note. I will try to post all the music that I'm playing here. Of course, you can just get the PDF, so it'll be easier. But first of all, let's try to coordinate really the tongue with the metronome. And now do exactly the same thing, but imagine in your head that you're moving. I know it sounds crazy, but this exercise is really, it gets you deep into working your muscle memory of having a good coordination between your arm and your tongue. So just trust me on this one. Just try it. If it doesn't work, don't do it anymore. So imagine in your head, I can't show you on camera obviously, but imagine in your head that you're moving the slide every time you're moving the tongue, every time you're playing a note. Right? And now do it, but instead of moving the slide, you're just gonna move your arm a little bit. Just really to coordinate the metronome to your arm that's already been kind of coordinated to your tongue, right? So something like this. So practice it until it's good, and then we move on. We're going to play just from position 1 to position 2. Right? And then you can do the same from position 1 to position 3. So obviously, the further you go with your arm, the faster you're going to have to be with your arm. And that is because you're going to have like 30 centimeters that need to go from point A to point B as fast. It's just a few millimeters of your tongue. So, you know, you got to practice your arm. Try to get your arm of the slide like as straight as possible, a straight line, so that it doesn't damage your slide first of all, and so that it's a little bit smoother. So then you do it from position 1 to position 4. Right? And then you can do it from position 1 to position 5, 6 and 7. I'm not going to bore you with the whole exercise. Do it starting from a B flat, starting from an F, do it starting from the lower B flat, do it starting from a high D, from a high F, from a high B flat. Do it in all, in all, how do you say, tessitures, in all the range, right? So then we go back to our scale, and we should have this coordination. Now, I am not playing legato, I'm doing it on purpose, although I'm going to play it once, like not mercato and not staccato, but detached, so you'll hear a little space between the notes, although I continue blowing. And then I'll do it once legato, just so that you can hear the difference. I'll do it again, but with a little bit less space between the notes. And then legato. I did a whole video on how to play legato with your tongue, so I'll put it somewhere here, I guess. But let's play that legato. Right, so really coordinating the tongue with the metronome and with your arm. And then you can switch it and play on the upbeat to the metronome. And this is actually really cool because it'll really make you think more and it'll get you more in the rhythm. Playing exactly on the beat with the metronome is something, by being able to play on the upbeats, ba, 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 ba. Somehow your brain, it gets you more into the rhythm. So let's do that exercise again. but this time on the upbeat. It was not very good, was it? So let's do it again. And legato. Right, so you've got two exercises here. First is doing it on the beat, and then is going on the upbeat. Further along these video series, because you know there's not so many videos, I can talk about everything in one video, but I want to stay specific and I want to try to get those videos a little bit shorter than it already is. So those are two exercises that you have already for slide coordination. You really need to understand the concept. The concept is that you move the slide exactly at the same time as you change the note, right? So it's something that valve players, trumpet players, or even cellists, or any other kind of instrument really apart from those instruments have to deal with. So again, yeah, the tongue moves exactly at the same time as the metronome. The metronome represents the music that you're playing, of course, and your arm moves exactly at the same time as your tongue, and it's not happening when you leave the note or when you get on the note, but really in between the note. It's when you get to the note, you move your arm. It's hard to really understand, but it's hard to explain somehow, but you really need to understand it for yourself. And to understand it, do that first exercise that I did, and then coordinate everything, and it will sink in. After a few hours, you know, you'll really get into it, and you'll know exactly when to do it. Basically, you just need to change your arm at the same time as the metronome, and have the tongue exactly at the same time as your arm. Or you can figure it out vice versa, that you need to get your arm exactly at the same time as your tongue that is synced already to the metronome. So that's it for today's video. If you've enjoyed it, please put a thumb up. If you've not, just put a thumbs down. I hope not. I hope it was okay. I hope you've learned something. I hope this provided you with some sort of value. If you've not done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate your little comments and your little emails and whatnot. I thank you a lot for all the nice comments for the Mozart video the other day. I really appreciate it also. And yeah, have a nice week, have a good practice. The next video will probably be an arrangement, maybe a movie music arrangement, film music arrangement that I was thinking of doing. Maybe a pop tune or a jazz tune. And then we'll go back to Mozart for the second movement. Which is going to be quite a challenge, of course. It's already a challenge when you play that movement in an orchestra just with the bass trombone, so playing the whole thing. I didn't arrange it yet. So yeah, have a good day, have a good practice, have a good evening, and I will see you very soon. Take care.